there is the cause of death listed there by Dr. Stein. And could you please read that into the record as well?
Head injury due to blunt trauma.
Thank you. So then at your paragraph 23, you say that as at 9th of May 2022, or shortly thereafter, whenever it is you uplifted the report, you got confirmation that the cause of death wasn't natural.
That's correct, Commissioners.
And then from paragraph 24 rather, you then set out the steps you took, having learned these facts. If you could pick it up from there, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. I then requested the case docket from Duduza Police Station, and it was later transferred to Brakpan SAPS. This was going to assist the investigation because my visit to the mortuary confirmed that the deceased was murdered, and the deceased family had previously informed me that the police officers were involved in his murder. It will then become important for me to establish how the deceased ended up at Spaarwater. The docket was then changed from an inquest and registered as a murder investigation under Brakpan Case 429 of 4/2022. I attach as Annexure NPM 2 a copy of this docket.
Please continue.
On the 2nd of May 2022, I received a call from the deceased mother, who informed me that there was a white male who identified himself as, sorry, Commissioners, can I just clarify something with the SC?
Oh. Commissioners, perhaps to assist the witness and your deliberations. I was saying to assist the commissioners in their deliberations and the witness.
Yes.
These names are reflected in full in the subsequent reports that are filed. So the commissioners then will guide us as to whether or not their names should be read out, because those reports have been filed with the relevant institutions already.
But perhaps let's respect the witnesses' feelings, and at least we've not been given to understand that the name is crucial to her testimony before us. Crucial in the sense that without that name, her evidence will be substantially negatively affected.
If I may check, she looked to me as if questioning whether she should. I don't know if she was expressing hesitance or whether she was seeking guidance. Perhaps the witness may clarify.
Thank you, Commissioners. I was seeking for guidance, but I don't have a problem in mentioning them because we have witness D who already came and mentioned names.
Yes.
So it won't be new.
If you have no difficulty, then please go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Chair.
On the 2nd of May 2022, I received a call from the deceased mother who informed me that there was a white male who identified himself as Zander, then in brackets Fritz, that visited her address at number in Brakpan.
Yes, thank you.
Few days after her son's funeral. She alleged that Zander informed her that he was investigating a robbery incident involving a truck. The evidence was collected from the deceased mother to support the allegations regarding Zander's visit. He proceeded to show her a picture of the deceased truck. I'm referring to Zander here. She confirmed that yes, it was Emmanuel's truck, in brackets, goodies. Then that is how the mother was calling him, hence I put goodies in brackets and then Emmanuel, the name that is registered on the death certificate. Zande advised her that the truck was under investigation as it was taken from SAPS 13 at Boksburg. It was taken from SAP 13 at Boksburg police station. He further stated that no one should drive the truck because they will be arrested and be charged with possession of stolen motor vehicle. There is objective, verifiable evidence to be tendered during trial in court regarding Zande's visit at the deceased home. I should point out that in a warning statement obtained from Zande, who was a reservist by then, attached to Brakpan SAPS, thus speaks of a visit he undertook following the incident to the home of the deceased and conversation he had with a lady unnamed he found on the property.
I had understood, good afternoon. I had
Afternoon,
understood from the
Commissioner.
previous witness that reservists don't work alone. They accompany police officers when they conduct investigations. Now, from what you are saying here, it looks like Zanda went on his own and did this on his own. Can you just clarify that?
Yes, Commissioner. Here he went alone. He had disguised himself as a member of Hawks because the allegations from the mom are that he was wearing a cap that was written Hawks. That is how he also introduced himself. Even the evidence that will be tendered in court, it proves that, yes, indeed, this is how he introduced himself to the mother. But I stand to be corrected, though, by SAPS to say I don't remember a reservist at the detective's side of SAPS. The reservists, you will find them in visible policing, whereby they wear uniform and work with full-time appointed members. They don't work alone. There must always be a full-time appointed member to guide them. But this one, even though I will unpack that later, but this one, yes, he went alone, but he was not, he didn't say he was from Brakpan, where he was based as a reservist. He was coming from a specialized unit to the mother. During my investigation, I understood that he wanted to check as to if the family are suspecting that he was killed, because they knew that they took him from the house and dumped him somewhere. So they were checking if they are being investigated during that period. Hence, he even said to the mother to say, if there are any police officers or anyone that can come doing this kind of investigation, don't respond to them. Before you respond, you must call me first, because I need to know that what will be that police officer doing, because I'm the one who's doing this investigation against your son.
Before perhaps you move on, Ms. Masuku, commissioners, perhaps for completeness, there is a statement in the annexure file. It's annexure NPM 5 Roman 1, and that is the statement of one Alexandra Fritz, and in particular from paragraph 16 of that warning statement, he references a visit to the home and expresses and narrates it in the manner that he does. From paragraph 16, the first few paragraphs until paragraph 15 are as regards the events of the day of the 14th into the 15th of April, when Mr. Mbense apparently lost his life. Then 16 is a period following the 15th of April. And that's how Mr. Fritz narrates the incident of the day. It's Annexure NPM 5, Roman 1. Paragraph 16 starts at page 26 of the annexure file. The commissioners could note, and perhaps at a later stage we could go through the detail of that statement.
So you will come back to this document later?
We will come back to the document to the extent that is necessary when we deal with the issue of warning statements.
Okay.
I just thought to flag it for the moment.
Thank you.
Now, while I'm there, looking at your annexure file, page 14, Ms. Masuku, do you confirm for the record that that is the warning statement of one Alexander Fritz?
That's correct.
Page 14 of the annexure bundle.
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thank you. Commissioners, I see it's 4:02. We're in your hands.
Perhaps, Mr. Law, if the witness could continue until just before the next heading at page 9.
Indeed, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Masuku, we were at page 8 of your statement, and you had dealt with the contents of paragraph 27, correct? Which was the visit by Zander as narrated to you by the deceased mother. Do you confirm that?
I confirm, Commissioners.
The Chair suggests that we finish that part of your statement until the next heading, which starts at the next page. So if you could deal then with paragraph 28.
In my capacity as a duly-appointed investigator acting within the scope of my lawful authority, I initiated and conducted preliminary investigation on the strength of the witness allegations of potential police involvement in the death of Mr. Mbense. The action was undertaken pursuant to the mandatory reporting obligations imposed upon SAPS in terms of Section 28A of IPID Act of 2011, which requires that all deaths in police custody, or Section 28(1)B, which are deaths as a result of police action, be reported to Independent Police Investigative Directorate without delay. Accordingly, the initiation of the preliminary investigation was lawful, necessary, and procedurally compliant. On this paragraph, what I'm trying to explain is, one will ask to say, why did you do the investigation that was never reported to your department? But as I'm saying, during my preliminary investigation, I realized that yes, indeed, there is involvement of police officers. And now I cannot leave this case docket with SAPS because family must receive justice for their family member. Then one again will ask to say, is Brakpan or Duduza one of your stations? Because I said before, I am overseeing 7 police stations within Ekurhuleni. I would like to state that no, those stations don't fall under me. But the reason I had to undertake this, it's because I'm an appointed IPID Investigator 1. To allocate the stations, it's just for our control. It does not mean that if a police officer committed crime at another station that's not mine, I can overlook that. And most important point for me to take over this investigation was that I initially communicated with the family. So I saw that it will be unfair now for me to hand it over to somebody else, whereby the family must come and sit down and explain again as to what transpired, only to find that maybe my colleague might see it differently from the angle that I'm seeing it. So I saw it deemed to say, I will continue with this investigation up until the end of it. Then I am also explaining on this paragraph to say, even though SAPS never reported, of which they were obligated to report this to IPID, even though they were not sure that the police were involved, but for the fact that there were those allegations to say there were police in this house, they were supposed to report. And for SAPS to prove that their members were there, it's very easy. For us, it becomes a struggle because we get that information from them. But for them, the information is within them. Just to inquire within, they know, I will just say they are trackers. They know how to track their cars. It's easy just to check if really there were police in this yard. It was not even going to take them an hour to do that, and then report the matter, hand it over to IPID, and then we were going to take over in a formal way, as I said before, that it was going to shorten the duration of investigation a bit than now, whereby it has prolonged for years. But I would like to say to the commissioners, it was worth it to be this long.
Sorry, can I ask a question and it requires a yes number answer? I'm mindful of time. Are you saying on the date that Mr. Mbense was killed, SAPS is able to determine whether SAPS vehicles were at the family house?
That's correct, Commissioner, but I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly, but because even SAPS did not become aware on the 14th, because this was the incident between the 14th and 15th. But for the fact that the body was recovered on the 15th, then it was within the duration. On that day of the 15th, that is when they became aware to say the police were there in that house. So they should have reported to us.
Thank you, Commissioner. Ms. Masuku, your next paragraph at page 9 is 29. Now that's under a slightly different heading, which is my investigations into the case. Now you narrate the actual steps that you took. And perhaps that's a topic we can pick up tomorrow morning. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Ms. Masuku, we will adjourn until tomorrow morning. Please be here at 9:30 tomorrow. Let's adjourn.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioners.